In this video today, I want to talk about presence practice and why I feel that it is the most practical and most simple approach to being fulfilled spiritually in your life. Now, each one of us, for the most part, I would say the majority of people have this need to be fulfilled spiritually in some way. And I have been in spirituality for over a decade. I've learned a lot of things. Many of these things are beautiful and they're very helpful, but I have found that mindfulness or presence practice, being present to the moment, being present to whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life, is the simplest and most practical approach to spirituality, to deepening that need, that sense of wanting to be fulfilled in that way, to feeling connected to something greater than yourself, really has been the thing that I feel most sure of. And that's why I'm teaching it, because of its simplicity, of its practicality, and because it genuinely does fulfill that spiritual need. So if you're someone out there and you've been in spirituality and you feel like you're still searching, or you're still looking, or you're still unsure of what this is all about and this and that, this can be the thing for you, because honestly, you don't need anything more than this. You need to follow your own intuition. You need to follow what feels right for you. But perhaps this is the thing for you. It is for me, and I'm sure it can be for you as well. So when it comes to practicing presence, the main thing with this is simply being present to what you're doing. When you're taking a shower, when you're eating your meals, when you're with your spouse, when you're with your friends or family, when you're driving, with whatever you're doing, these simple mundane tasks throughout the day, which we have, that we usually tend to each day, just bringing your mind and attention to that thing. And what I have found is that when I do this and when I practice it, that I enjoy the simple things in life, like just going for a walk or going for a drive or having a meal. Like, I enjoy these things more. And most of our days are made up of these kind of mundane tasks, these kind of simple things. And if you want to be happier, you want to feel more peace in your day-to-day life, this can be an aid to it. I'm not saying this is the absolute answer to all your problems. I am saying, though, if you incorporate this, you're going to just feel more relaxed. You're going to enjoy more of these simple things, and you're going to be more intuitive. You're going to be more in touch with yourself, more in touch with your life and where it's going. So there are many, many advantages, many benefits to practicing presence, but the first one I'm talking about here is really the fact that you enjoy the simple things in life more. And that's a big thing. That's a big one, because if you're always trying to go to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, because this is boring and that's boring and I just want to get there, the journey of life is just going to be this always wanting to get to the next thing. And you don't want that. You want to enjoy your day-to-day life. Yes, you need to find things you actually enjoy too. But bring this element of presence, of attention, just bringing yourself to the now again and again and again to whatever it is that you're doing is going to be really helpful and help you enjoy more of the simple things in life. Another thing that I've also learned too is that applied with relationships, you're going to see healthier, more stable, more authentic, genuine connections and relations with people by simply being present. It's really a miracle in some ways. There were many times when I had applied this with just being present with the person, and I'll get into some practices on how to actually do that, but by just practicing this alone, it saved so much time with arguing and bickering and negativity. It saved a lot of that, and it didn't end up going further into negativity. And I also found too that when I'm present, a natural kind of intuitive response or a certain way of responding would come about. and would really help this situation significantly. And if it weren't for me practicing that, I don't know where it would have went, but obviously I've had situations where I wasn't doing that and it didn't go so great. So another thing with this presence practice is that bringing this into your relationships in your day-to-day life with your coworkers, family, friends, whomever, it's going to greatly impact those relationships. It really, really will. If you really put this into practice, you're going to see a change in that. And it's always going to be positive. It's always going to benefit you by practicing this. The next thing I want to talk about in this video, and this is the last thing I want to mention, is that you're going to have a greater connection to your intuition by practicing presence. Now, I already alluded to this in relationships of just having a more natural, intuitive response, which is always going to be better than what your mind's saying. But like in general, in your day-to-day life and in all areas of your life, your intuition plays a huge role in your life in all of that. So to be more in touch with that, you need to be present. Now, I've had a couple of instances where maybe I wasn't that present and I still got an intuition, but it helps to be present. It helps to be mindful. You are 100% more connected in with that and more in alignment with your intuition when you are present than when you're constantly thinking about things or constantly rushing around or doing this or doing that, distracted 24/7, or always on your phone or whatever it is. Intuition can't really come in there. It can come in there. Sometimes it'll hit you over the head, but like for the most part, you can be blocking it too. And a lot of that really just comes from your own like thinking about things all the time, or thinking about the future, or worrying about the past, or whatever it may be, or constantly distracted by everything going on in the world. When you're present and you come into the moment, you're going to be more intuitive. You're just going to live more of an intuitive life, and that is going to help you you're just going to be happier and more fulfilled in your everyday life. So practicing presence, the practicality and the simplicity for sure it's got to be number one for me, because it can be for you and it is for me. And with all the things out there in spirituality, you do what you got to do, whatever you feel drawn to, but this can be the thing that fulfills you in this area of your life. The second one, it was relationships. Practicing presence in your relationships is going to lead to healthier, more stable, better functioning, happier relationships. And because we're always seeing people on a day-to-day basis, whether our coworkers or if it's our family, we need to learn how to be with people correctly and in a better way, because so many relationships just seem to be falling apart with people, and it doesn't need to be that way. So practicing presence there is good. I also mentioned too that I would give some practices there with relationships, which I'll do right now. And that is simply placing your awareness within your hands, within your feet, just within the body. And it's kind of like listening with your body with people. So you're not getting drawn into their chaos or their negativity. And again, this is probably going to be more applicable to kind of negative circumstances, although it doesn't just have to be when you're in a heated argument with someone that you practice presence. You should be doing this with all your interactions anyways, good or bad. But if it's a heated argument and things are kind of nasty or whatever, really having to make the emphasis on putting your awareness within, because if you're up in your head or you're trying to prove them wrong or to prove them right or just getting entangled with them, it's not going to turn out too good. So if you keep yourself anchored within yourself, and you can even use the breath and coming back to your breath or feeling your feet on the ground or just doing this inner body awareness, you're not going to get pulled into the drama. And when you're in the body and you have some of your attention there, a natural kind of intuitive response will just kind of flow and will just come. It really, really does. This can be with texting, over the phone, in person with this person. It doesn't really matter. but you're going to get more of a natural intuitive response with people, which is going to be extremely helpful. And the last one I want to talk about is just your intuition. Again, intuition plays a huge role in your life. I will make a video on it in the future and why it's so important to be in touch with it. But you really can't gain access to your intuition fully as much as you would want to be if you're not present. Now, again, you'll get intuitions even when you're not present. But it's certainly helpful to be present first, because I have found that the more present I am, the more in touch I just am with my intuition. It's like a byproduct of presence. And if any of you are watching this and you're familiar with spirituality, you've been in this for a while, I'm sure you're aware of intuition. And when you've got an intuition, it's never failed you and it's been right. So if you really want to live more in alignment with your intuition, presence is the foundation. Be present first and then allow intuition to come. Don't focus on being intuitive. Don't try to get an intuition. Just be present and intuition will come in. It can flow in easier when you are present. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to go over why I feel that being or practicing presence really can be your spiritual practice, and it can fulfill you in that area of your life. If you're wanting to work one-on-one with me, wanting to learn more about presence and how you can apply this to your personal life, then you can schedule on my website. I offer some sessions over Zoom that we can do one-to-one coaching with, and I can help you with this in your daily life. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.